Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 49. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report, where once again it is time to have a look back, see how our EAs actually did in the Forex market, not only in the past week, but in the entire month, because we are now in the month of December. That means we have all the data, all the details for the November trading that we did on our EAs, and we're going to share it with you here right today. So obviously this gives you another possibility than just having a look at the individual weeks. Now we go a full month backwards, and of course the numbers, they are still looking good, and there's a couple of things here also that has changed in the past month. And I did mention it in the last news report. Basically, some of the drawdowns is actually coming down, some of the profits, then equity is actually going up. That means more profit for us at the end of the day. And that is obviously what we want to see. It seems to be continuing at the moment, which is quite nice. There has been some long trends in recent months, and finally it looks like it's reversing. We'll have to see if that is actually sustainable. Now, we also mentioned in the past here, so that the road to success again with all these particular EAs, and there is certainly a way forward when you are looking at all the numbers that we are going through here today. So please stay tuned until the end of the video, because there's quite a few other things that we want to share with you also in this particular video in here, because there is a new EA that, as it looks right now, could actually be for free. We have touched on this particular one before. I'm going to tell you a bit more about it later on in the video, so make sure that you don't miss any parts of this. And of course also we go through Expert4x and Alex. He has a few videos, and we're going to tell you a bit about what that is up to. There is certainly some things on the prop trading that seems to be working at the moment, so in our premium forum. So please don't miss that particular one either. And of course we have the copy link service as always, where you don't have to trade. We will do that for you. And again, we will try and highlight some of the links that are the best ones within the last 8 weeks. So when we have a look at the Wave Liberator for the month of November, the top 5 EAs in here did pretty well. The Great British Pounds Japanese is on top here, $163, 16.3%. And then a slight drop in for the Aussie Japanese, $113, 11.3%. And then you can see we still have a couple of currency pairs with the Japanese. So that was a very strong move for that particular month. And then shuts off at the Great British Pounds USD, $61, 6.1%. And then overall for that top 5 portfolio, if you put that together, $534 would have been made, and then 10.7% overall. So pretty good for a month of November in here. And if we have a look at the overall portfolio also, still looks very nice, very smooth. We can see that the equity is 255,657 with a floating profit or loss of minus 15,000. So that has come down. As I mentioned before, drawdowns has gone in the right direction. And again, these are $10,000 accounts. There's actually 22 of them when we started off. And we are trading them like it's a $1,000 account. That's right, the numbers are looking a bit awkward, but we are going to deal with that. So in a new year, where we still have, of course, all the old records, and then from there on, we'll put them on the right $1,000 accounts. So the monthly returns is not 0.9. Yes, they are on this particular one, but if you trade it on a $1,000 account, should be around 9% per month. And you can see the numbers match up quite nicely in here. Weekly returns a bit over 2%, trade wins of 69. We now have more than 85,000 pips in here. Trades per day is 11, and with a very long history of 837 days. We can see that these are the numbers for the month, 1100, that's what we made. It is down from last month, October, of 1382, slightly better than September month of 1075. So again, it is varying, but we are a lot lower than we were last year. But then again, also, we have to maintain control of the drawdown, and that's where we basically end up for the month of November. RSI, also that particular one in here, has some reasonable results. We have New Zealand Japanese on top with $110 or 11%, so that's pretty good. We have the Aussie USD at $89, 8.9, so still within that 8 to 12% time frame. But then we come in a bit lower, and even the bottom one of the top 5 here is the Great British Pound Swiss francs, only at $52, 5.2%, and then with a $398 or 8% overall. That is what this particular portfolio actually managed for the month of November. And when we have a look again, we can also see here floating profit or loss, it's actually down. Same setup as we had on the Wave Liberator, 22 accounts, $10,000. But again, when we reverted into $1,000 accounts as we traded on, you have a monthly return still of around 7 regarding FX Blue, which is the one that calculates these numbers. Trade wins is around 66.8 and 48,000 pips taken. That particular one in here does around 12 trades per day with a history of 608 days in here. And also the profits, as you can see, for the month of November, 762 for the entire portfolio. It is a bit down. It is certainly better than the July and August. So at least the August one. July did actually slightly better. The rest of the time it has been above the 1,000. But again, the market has changed a lot in the past year. And that is the best we could get out of it in a safe manner. And that is obviously important. Now the Hedged EA, that has certainly had some issues. And with the drawdowns we had since April and May, you can also see the profits are below. Great British Pound Swiss francs comes in at just $60 or 6% for the month. New Zealand USD, $57 or 5.7%. And then the bottom one in here, Euro Swiss francs, $46, 4.6%, and overall this portfolio did $268 or 5.4%. And again, this is pretty much half of what you normally get on the SP 500. So we are still in a very good position, but trading wise, we used to have some better numbers in here, and we definitely hope they're going to come back sometime soon. On the Hedged EA, we have 16 accounts. All these 16 accounts are also running on the $10,000 accounts, but traded as they were 1,000. So monthly returns is around 8% with the weekly returns of 2%. You can see they're all very similar on the grid trading itself. Trade wins is around 71. Pips taken so far, 26,615 with exactly 10 trades per day on average. And then a history of 322 days in here. So the Hedged EA is working reasonably well. And when we have a look at the numbers for October, 513 versus 720, 705. We have to go all the way back here again to August where it was lower, very similar to July. So again, money is coming in, drawdown is down, so that is good news. Now the grid trader seems to be the best one for the entire month of November. Great British Pounds New Zealand is off well with $177. 17.7%. The Euro New Zealand, $138, 13.8%. And then it drops on the top 5 here. Great British Pounds USD down to $87, 8.7%. But the overall average, so if you had those 5 in the November portfolio, $608 will have been made, or 12.2%. So that is a very strong average for the top 5 in here. And that's obviously what we would like to see all the time. But again, the Forex market decides how that actually going to go. So in here again, we have, and these are set up on $1,000 accounts already, so we don't have to change anything. There is 20 of them, and you can see the equity has gone up since then. Floating profit or loss, pretty much stable on this particular one, slightly down, 8,495 versus closed profits of 9,780. Monthly returns right below the 6% mark. That means obviously you saw the top 5, they are producing well. Some other ones are not. Overall, we still have taken about 48,000 pips. Trades per day is 18. And we now have a history of 235 days. So still going strong. Overall, you can see that the graph is not so smooth in here. And we also took a bit of a hit. Now that actually means that some of the EAs in here, they are closed off. So it means they made a lot of money in the beginning. But again, the way this particular trader is working. So the grid trading, and especially the generation 4 in here, is it closes off when it gets to the number that you are put within the EA. And sometimes that particular one looks like a loss, but it's simply just claiming back, shutting off all the open trades that you had, and then starts over again. And for this particular week that we had also, we had about 3 EAs that are closed off on the simple grid trader, and that's why it has a little dip in here. Overall, again, for the month of November, 1172, so that is not too bad. Very much in line with what we actually had in both September, and we can also see here August and July, same numbers, just slightly higher. So that is pretty good indication. Now, I did tell you that there was a video that I made, and this is now done quite a few weeks ago, where we said, can this really make money? Where you have basically a new EA that Expert4x was working on, and this was in beta testing mode at the time. So multiple moving averages plus the MACD in here. And that particular video is still very much available. So if you click the link below in the video description, you can go and have a look at this particular one. Now, why I mentioned it might be for free. Basically, we are part of the premium forum for Expert4x, and we understand that that particular one might be given to premium forum members. So for us, it will be free. If you're not a member, you can obviously join in here. There's a small fee, but you are getting a lot of extra EAs. You are also getting some courses and copy link service. You get some access to at least 3 to begin with. So there is plenty of other benefits apart from getting your hands on this particular EA for free. And we will obviously try and test it in the future. So if you're interested, please stay tuned to this particular channel. In the meantime, let's go and have a look at the Lucky Trader for November. That is actually a bit below where we expected the Lucky Trader to be, but that has something to do with the trending nature of the Forex market, because normally the Lucky Trader is one of the best ones in here. November was not so good, with New Zealand USD only coming in at $67, 6.7%, and then right after that you had the Euro Swiss francs with $66, 6.6%, and then at the bottom of the top 5 portfolio here, the US CAD, $49, 4.9%, and at the end here, total of $297 or 5.9%. That's all that we got from the Lucky Trader for the month of November. You can see again the graph is pretty okay. This was back also here in April, where we had a huge increase similar to had on the Hedged EA. And at the end of the day here, we still have some drawdowns that it hasn't gotten written of, and that's also the reason for it again. Monthly returns is still around 9% on a $1,000 accounts. Pips taken, 39,000. Trades per day, 11.6. We now have a history of 400 days. And when we look how well it did, well, it was definitely below our expectations, 536. We have to go all the way back again to the month of August to find something similar, but the rest of the time it is doing better. So hopefully we'll get this one out of the drawdown as soon as possible so it can cash in a bit bigger again. Now, I mentioned Expert4x had a couple of videos. Now, this is actually the second video in a series that Alex is currently doing regarding prop trading and success. And again, I suggest if you are interested in this, that could be a good video for you to have a look at, because again, he is going through these details regarding the account sizing, the lot sizing you have to use, and what you have to be aware of to make sure that you keep within the parameters. For these prop trading companies, it is very difficult to keep within normally about 5% so of drawdowns, and it all depends on, of course, also what EAs you're actually using for it. So if you're interested in prop trading, want to learn a bit more, this is the second one in the series, but it will also introduce you to the first one, so you can go and have a closer look at this. We also have a second one with new trading accounts and portfolio setups that are coming before most probably the end of the year. We'll have to see. But Alex, again, is going over this in a bit of a detail, similar to what we are normally doing on this particular video here. So you can go have a closer look on the copy link service. And if you do that, you will also notice some of the numbers in here. So our links are set up. And again, we are trying to just take the best ones. So that means you will have floating profit or loss, no bigger than 300 at every given time. And then also total negative in the last 8 weeks. We don't want to see anything over 300 either. You can see they are quite low. They are all traded, as you can see here, on $1,000 accounts. You have a range of RSI Liberators. You have the Grid Trader Generation 4. And again, here the RSI Liberator together with the Wave Liberator here. Overall, when you have the gains in the last 8 weeks, it goes from, and this is equity we are talking about, these ones have lost a bit over the past 8 weeks, but apart from that, these ones are moving 6%, 8, 10, 16, and some of the best ones is 26 and 32%. So there are some very good signals that you can actually link up to in order to start your trading, but without actually doing all the trading and the setups and all the other work that goes into basically producing these signals here. So this is what we had for you in this week's news report. As you can see, there's quite a few positive things still coming out of the Forex market and our EAs in here, of course. Sounds like also there's going to be another EA released shortly. So we will obviously make sure that we tell you all about it once it has been released. And also, hopefully in the future, we'll make some more videos on that particular one, if it's able to actually make money over long periods of time, similar to what you have already seen. Our EAs, what they actually do every single week, every single month, and now also most of them every single year. So please give us a thumbs up and a comment in here, and hopefully I'll see you on one of my next videos. Until then, bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.